Hey, how's it going? I'm Lando, and welcome back to Lando's Lessons. This is beginner course lesson number 2, and we're going to be learning how to properly hold the guitar and how to tune it. Remember, this is all just for fun, so don't worry, and let's jump right in. Alright, I had to scoot back a little bit so that way you can see how I was sitting. But as you can tell, most guitars are shaped where they have a little indentation right there and right there on the top, even on both sides on this one. But what you're going to do is you're going to take that little indentation there and it's going to rest directly on your right leg. If it's classical guitar, it's on your left leg, but for a standard guitar like this, it's on your right. And you don't want it leaned way back like that. You don't want it way forward. You want it to be right, like just up and down, completely straight. And same for that way. You don't want that way down there or way up there. You want the whole thing straight across. And as far as your right arm, it'll go over the edge, just where you can reach over the sound hole. Whether, like, I got pretty long arms, so I got to go way back here. But if you have short arms, you can go up here, or even longer than my arms, back there. As far as your left hand, it'll be down here, and it'll be playing the neck. It'll be holding the chords and whatnot, while your right hand is doing the strumming. We'll touch more on that later on, but just for now. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the string names and how to identify which ones are which. So, starting with this one on top, which is the thickest string, that one's E. And then after that, the second from the top is A, then D, then G, then B, then the bottom one is E again. So the bottom one is high E, and then the top one is low E. It's high and low. A way that I learned how to memorize which ones are which is the saying Eddie for E, 8 for A, dynamite for D, and then G is good, and then B for bye, and then E again for Eddie. So Eddie, 8, dynamite, good, bye, Eddie. It's kind of a weird saying, but it'll stick with you. And then for the numbers, the very bottom one is string number 1. And then second string is the second from the bottom. And third, fourth, fifth, and then the top one is 6th. So later on, if I say string number 1 on the 1st fret, it means right here, that's the 1st fret there, as in my, like I said in my first video, on the 1st string. So that means you put your bottom finger, or your finger on the bottom string on the 1st fret. So that's string 1, fret 1. So then if I said string 2, fret 1, you still have your finger on fret 1, but you play the 2nd string, and so on and so forth. We'll get more into that later on, but just for now, just to help you memorize. Okay, so now that we know what the string names are, now we can tune it. So I just got this little tuner here that just clips on the end of the guitar, and it just takes one 3-volt battery, I think. I just changed it today. But, so when you hit the top string, it lights up an E, or it's supposed to light up an E. If it's like really out of tune, like that says D. So that means I need to turn the tuning peg for the top string. You can follow it all the way down the neck, and it goes to that first tuning peg there. And you use the tuning key, like I was talking about in the first video, to move it up and down. So now it depends on which way your guitar was strung. This one will be counterclockwise, that you turn the tuning key to make it go up. So I just turned it a little bit. Now it's at D flat, or D sharp, I mean. And then you turn it more. Now it's at E. It's actually right there at E. That's a little high, so you need it right in the blue. It's red. Right there. So that's perfectly tuned for E. And then you do the same thing for A. So that says G sharp. So you turn it a little more, turn a little more. Now it's really low A. Keep going. Now it's right at A. And you just do that for all your strings, and then once you think you got it, just hit them each one more time to make sure that they're all right in tune. So the reason why turning the tuning keys affects the pitch of the string is because they're held in place down here, like I was saying in my first video, by the buttons. And they're held completely tight all the way up to these pegs here. And each peg has a little gear inside, so whenever you turn this key here, it's turning the peg, which is tightening or loosening the strings, which raises or lowers the pitch. Now another way that you can tune your guitar, if you don't have access to one like I have here, or your guitar doesn't have a built-in tuner, is you can download an app on a phone or a tablet or something that has a tuner on it, and it will use your microphone to pick up the sound of each string. And it's the same kind of thing, you just gotta line it up in the middle. I used one called Guitar Tuna, like the fish, and that one works really good. So anytime I forget this tuner at the house, or my batteries go dead on another guitar and I don't have one, I just use that on my phone. Just another good way to tune the guitar. Well, I think that's all for today. If you have any more questions about tuning the guitar or anything you'd like to see in a future video, just drop a comment. If you like the video, that's cool. If you subscribe, that's cool too. Don't feel like you have to. But I'll see you next time.